Hello, welcome to Root Talks. My name is Daisi Segun, and I'm your guy. Root Talks and idea started because of our core value of infinite learning and love. We believe that you can learn alongside with us. We are passionate about learning and growing. Have you ever asked yourself, what will it take me to increase my revenue, triple my income as an entrepreneur or creative? I've asked myself the same question. How can I double my clients? How can I multiply my income, basically? And I found out that the secret in understanding how to do this is in understanding the value of leading yourself. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I don't know if you know the story of Steve Jobs, how Steve Jobs started Apple. In 10 years, they were doing great. But something happened, after around 1986. Steve Jobs got fired from Apple. The board of directors fired him because of he was not, started having conflicts with the then CEO and also was not leading his employees well. Apple, they were doing bad. And that was it. That was because he was not leading himself well. He learned from his mistakes, got fired. Said, okay, I'm going to start again. Started, two new companies, and this companies, which is Pixar and Next. Pixar became a $1 billion company in 10 years. So this guy did it again. But then he acknowledged something. He learned his mistakes from the early days in Apple, and he said, okay, I'm going to become a better leader of myself and others. He did that, became a better leader of himself and others. So, but something was happening Apple, which was that Apple was about to go bankrupt within this period when he was doing great things in Pixar and Next. The board of directors are fired him. So, okay, this guy is doing great again. Taking Pixar to become a $1 billion company. Next is also doing great in the software and World Wide Web. They said, okay, let's bring this guy back. Let's buy Next from him. They basically did that. They brought Steve Jobs back. Bought Next computers from Steve Jobs. And basically, Steve Jobs took a company which is Apple that was going to be that was going to be bankrupt in 9 months. Took this company to becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world. Something happened. Let's not forget the fact that there was somebody there before leading this same Apple that could not, that was going to be bankrupt. That's why I started this episode with the secret in understanding how to triple or multiply, your revenues, understanding how to lead yourself. Basically, I believe that why did Steve Jobs come back and basically took from a company that was going to bankrupt in 9 months. I don't know the word to use this time around. I don't know if it's multiply times 1 million, because how the company that was generating that was doing so bad became one of the most valuable company in the world, and went on to innovate. Look at the great stuff that happened with the iPhone, the iTunes, and all these other products that Apple innovated with. But something happened. Steve Jobs became a better leader of himself over that period of time when he was in Pixar and Next after they fired him, and he came back and was able to triple his revenue. So there's something Jockey Maxwell said. He said that your business cannot rise any higher than your level of leadership. I'll say that again because this is key. He said your business cannot rise any higher than your level of leadership, or your creativity, or you as a creative, your business cannot rise any higher than your level of leadership. I'd like to talk about something that is called the leadership lead. What is leadership lead? I believe leadership lead is how you lead yourself. So let's say if my leadership lead is a 1, I'm a poor leader of myself and others. If my leadership lead is a 5, I'm an average. And if it's a 10 or 9, I'm an excellent leader of myself, because I believe when I say myself, being a good leader of myself, I'm indirectly saying leaders leading others better, because you before you can lead others, you need to start by leading yourself. So let's say, okay, I'll give you an illustration concerning the leadership. So why we should understand that your business can rise any higher than a level of leadership. So let's say my leadership lead is 3, which is poor, and my team or my business is a 1. Because of the law says that your business cannot rise any higher than a level of leadership, your business cannot rise any higher than 3. So you can see how it is affecting your business. So this law says that if I have a leadership lead of 9 or 10, then my team and my business can now rise, to have the potential to become like what happened with Steve Jobs when he came back. He had a leadership lead of 9 now and 10 now, and his team could now, the former CEO that was taken up to bankrupt, had leadership of three and was very poor. That's why Apple could not rise beyond that that leadership lead. I don't know if we all saw the drama in the AFCON. Very funny AFCON because Nigeria, broke all of us hearts, but then they didn't really break my heart because I didn't really see what it took for them to win it from the early days. But something happened. There was a team that won it, which is Cote d'Ivoire. And the funny thing that happened was that Nigeria defeated this team in the group stage. This team was so poor that they almost went out of the group stage. But they came on, to now win the AFCON. What happened? I believe what happened was that something changed, which is this leadership we're talking about. So when Cote d'Ivoire, they were poor team, one of the worst teams in the AFCON in the early days, in the group stage, he had a coach who is the leader of that team that had a very poor leadership. Let's say his leadership was a 3. But Cote d'Ivoire team had potentials to become a 10. But because of the law says that your obedience cannot rise any higher and your team cannot rise any higher than a level of leadership, Cote d'Ivoire team that had potentials could not rise any higher than that coach. What happened when they fired the coach? When the president or the sporting directors of Cote d'Ivoire decided to fire that coach and bring someone else, then that had a higher lead. So this new coach had a lead of 10. Then look at what happened. Cote d'Ivoire, that was a poor team that had potentials, because of the change the leader, who is a good leader of himself and others, Cote d'Ivoire now had room to grow to become a 9. And they now went on to, beat Nigeria, the same team. They didn't change the staffs, the same exact team. What did they change? The leadership lead. This makes us understand the value in ourselves. So if we have a poor leadership, we need to know and the question is, how can I increase my leadership so that I can play an effect on my business? Your potential to lead others is a direct result of how well you lead yourself. I'll say that again. Your potential to lead others is a direct result of how well you lead yourself. Then if I can lead myself, then perhaps I can have the privilege to lead others. So the question now is, when we understand the value of self-leadership, because when I can play a role in us tripling our revenue, what is self-leadership? I believe self-leadership is understanding a goal you want for yourself, what you truly want, managing your emotions, taking control of your life, setting goals to achieve what you truly want, and making the right decisions to achieve that goal. So there's something Theodore Herzberg said. He said that you don't make decisions because they are cheap. You don't make decisions because they are easy. You don't make decisions because they are popular. You make decisions because they are right. And I would like to say that you also make decisions because they are what you truly want. So in understanding how to lead ourselves, so I found out that I selected 6 aspects that we need to work on, which is look at and say, okay, how well am I leading myself in these areas so that I can be a better leader of myself, and increase the leadership lead for myself. And I'll say the 4. So it was I selected number 1, discipline. Number 2, be more consistency, be more organized, character, procrastination, and stewardship. So I believe that if you start from these 6, seeing how can I become a better leader of myself in this aspect. So and I want us to be direct. So for example, you signify the aspect that you're not doing well. For example, like we said, this podcast is for us to learn alongside with you. So I'm learning. Because I'm not good with consistency, I'm direct. I want to be consistent in my daily goals. So we need to be consistent. What do you want to be consistent in? And that one is character. For example, I found out that I'm not a good communicator. I don't communicate well. I'm a bad listener. So for example, when I'm having a conversation with someone, I find myself not listening to the person. I'm always thinking about what I'm going to say next, or my mind will just fly. So I'm trying to understand, how can I listen to people when they're talking. Secondly, funny enough, when I started praying for this, I found out that damn, I'm not a good communicator. I don't know how to do this well. So I decided, look, I'm going to learn how to become a better storyteller. So there's something I would like us to do, which is when we define this, we need to start early. Don't procrastinate. Start now and start with small steps. That's why Sometimes when we say, okay, let's just start with big steps, then we're not motivated to start. Let's just start with small steps. Saying, okay, I cannot be consistent, more consistent, do my daily goals, set little step. And we need to not lie to ourselves, tell yourself the truth regarding what you want to work on. Because of the greatest gift you can give yourself is honesty. Because you will never be able to lead yourself as long as you lie to yourself. I'll say that again. The greatest gift you can give yourself is honesty, because you will never be able to lead yourself as long as you lie to yourself. It's important that we define these skills, because you cannot develop a skill you don't define. And we need to ensure that we don't give excuses, or try to put blames. And okay, we need to be very serious, because like we said, self-leadership is taking control of your life. So regarding the excuses, you need to understand that it is easier to move from failure to success than from excuses to success. I say that again. It's easier for you to move from failure to success than from excuses to success. So if we look at all these things I'm saying concerning in defining where you want to work on, discipline, consistency, being a good steward, understanding how to manage your finance better, leading yourself in that aspect, we find out that if we do these things, it will play a huge role in us multiplying that effect in our business. For example, like because we found out that what your business can rise any higher than level of leadership, we found out that if I become a more disciplined person in my daily goals, if I become a better communicator in storytelling, or I become a good listener, my business will start exhibiting all those actions. My business will become more consistent. My business will communicate better because of, like we said, it cannot rise any higher than level of leadership. I become a good steward. My business will manage my business will become more frugal. Manage finance well, doing more with less. Many other aspects. So that's why we need to understand the value of leading ourselves. Because if we go back to what we said earlier, your potential to lead others is direct result of how well you lead yourself. Your business cannot rise any higher than a level of leadership. I'd like us to take some actions regarding everything I've said concerning the leadership lead. Firstly, I'd like you to identify your leadership lead number and be like you said, we don't need to lie. If you're a 1 or you're a 3 or you're a 5, tell yourself the truth. Because of, like we said, the greatest gift you can give yourself is honesty, because you will never be able to lead yourself as long as you lie to yourself. So, first action I want you to take is tell yourself, what is my lead number? Is it a 2? Is it a 3? Second is, would those around me agree with my assessment? Would they agree that, oh, is Daisi actually 3, or is he lying to himself? Number 3, what is my plan to increase my lead number? Like we said, we need to lay out plans and be define them. We need to define them. Number 4, what are the lead numbers of those that work with me, those that are in my inner circle, because they're a reflection of me as well. And what are my plans to increase their lead numbers? So concerning the actions on how to develop this aspect that we talked about, for example, I want to become more consistent in my daily goals. We need to ask ourselves, write it down in one sentence, define it, write it down in one sentence. I want to be consistent in my daily goals. I want to become a better storyteller. Communicate it to your inner circle, those that are close to you. Ask for corrections and affirmations. So they should affirm you when you're doing great, and they should correct you. Okay, you're starting to flow. Then the fourth one is follow up monthly to measure your inputs. So you need to keep on measuring your inputs. So thank you very much for time. I really hope that I was able to communicate well. Like I said, I'm learning this and we're learning together. I can't wait for the next one, the part 2. So we're going to dive in deep into the discipline and all these things, how to really drive self-leadership through this aspect that we have mentioned. And before we end today's episode, I'd just like to talk about our sponsor for today, which is Roots. Roots is an online marketplace where you can find, services and handmade items. So if you're a freelancer, you're a creative, you make handmade items, and you're looking for somewhere to show the world what you can truly do, we can do that through our platform and sell these services and products. And secondly, if you are looking to purchase either a service or a product in Lagos, we are also there for you. So the name of the website is www.roothq.africa. Thank you very much. See you guys again.